So, I've decided to take my time, take a breather, take a moment. After watching several times over Feminist Frequencies, Tropes vs. Women in Video Gaming, first episode, Damsels in Distress, I have to admit, the intro is a little flashier. I also have to admit that it seems that she's done a bit more of her homework, though not as much as some people give her credit for. Now I want to make this extremely clear here. I do not support misogyny. I don't believe in the boys club who, as Jim Sterling tends to satire, think that upon watching Feminist Frequencies videos, our beloved video games and game systems are going to evaporate or turn into dust, or that Anita with some sort of feministic stormtroopers is going to break down the door of everyone's house and she's going to steal our games and our systems and replace it with ball and cup games. I don't know. Although I'm sure the inclusion of a ball somehow makes it sexist. But I'll get to stuff like that there. I don't know where to honestly begin with this. Because, okay, let's start with her title, shall we? Links down to the underbar to all of the information I'm going to be covering here, including some preview videos or some trailers of videos or even a walkthrough of a video to try to illustrate exactly what I'm talking about here. Let's take her title, Feminist Frequency. And then let's take link round up feminist critique of slutwalk off Feminist Frequency's own page. Again, link will be down in the underbar. This one strikes me as a bit bizarre. I began feeling alienated with feminism because, as Megan Murphy points out, embracing the word slut sounds, to me, a lot like we drank the systematic Kool-Aid. Now, if that doesn't set up that at the very least she is very much radical feminism, which I don't think anybody should consider as real feminism, the fact that she's saying she feels alienated by feminism makes me wonder, why do you have the word feminism in your title? That's disingenuous to say the least, because then what do you attract? You attract the rad feminist crowds who attacked TJ, the amazing atheist. Links are, you know where they are down below by now, for not even critiquing her beyond her comment section disabling, as well as her thumbs up and thumbs down disabling, and so on and so forth. People say it's because she gets rape threats, because she gets death threats, because she has misogynistic dickholes, who I will call a spade a spade. If you're posting on her unironically tits or GTFO, then you're unfortunately giving her ammunition of the types of people who she then tries to use as a broad brush to paint the men, or most men, in the gaming community and try to say, see, they're just upset because I'm giving realistic critiques of video games and video gaming and how sexist it is. I'm not even trying to take away their video games, which in a way she's not. But if you're trying to start a conversation and you won't even let a conversation start, for Christ's sakes, woman, you got obscene amount of extra money. You're telling me you cannot hire a moderator, heck, a radical feminist moderator, to go through and make sure that the only comments you receive or that are visible should be, although I would say not a rad feminism, but I'm giving you what you want in this scenario, to moderate your page. It's not that difficult, especially if you only allow it on the one video. or on the rest of this series. You hire somebody, they spend their day making sure that the evil misogynistic comments aren't on display there, and that people aren't having a platform on your particular page with which to expunge their misogyny for misogyny's sake. And yes, there is a tinge of misogyny to some of the critiques that are given against Miss Anita. But then it gets to the point to where if you're a dissenter of any kind, no matter how factual your basis for criticism, like how this video is going to be run, with facts, not just, oh, I'm whiny and entitled and a white male, I'm going to use my privilege to bitch about something that doesn't matter. No. God, where was I going with this part here? Sorry. Then you're not actually starting a conversation and you're letting other feminists down. I have a link, in fact, to a feminist who mostly praises Miss Anita, except for saying that she took the road much traveled and said things that we already knew, which was a point I was trying to make on the message boards of, say, Kotaku, and especially of Destructoid talking against Jim on this one here, because as much as he thinks the misogyny is ridiculous, he's also painting the broad brush of the male gaming demographic and acting as if we're only really upset with her because we're afraid they're going to take away our games. But okay, so TJ, he doesn't even make an actual disparaging comment other than to say that if this is supposed to be an open dialogue, if we're starting a discussion here, she's not allowing that discussion to take place. And what happens? He gets attacked by major rad femmes who basically read into what they wanted to on TJ's blog and acted as and commented against TJ as if he had actually said something against Miss Anita. He hadn't. And in a way, I thought about doing my video the same, but I said, no, she is factually incorrect. I hope either in this video or maybe a second part that I will get into here to illustrate that she moves goalposts when it's convenient for her. She omits details when it's convenient for her. And if she even touches on a game that might actually support some of what I would be saying in this video, she touches on it briefly but doesn't go in depth, as if either she didn't play the material or she didn't care because it doesn't fit her narrative. If this doesn't illustrate that she is self-absorbed and self-interested and has little or no actual interest in equality for women in gaming, I do not know what is. Because let's take her Peach example, okay? Even though Mario isn't going on a quest to claim Peach as a prize or a sexual conquest as the usual damsel in distress trope tends to be, and I agree that is arguably sexist when it's overused especially, but as an original plot device, I don't see a major issue here. If somebody kidnaps my girlfriend, you better believe I'm going to do everything I can to go get her. Hopefully, if she can free herself as well, which I'm saying is an absolute possibility, then great. But if she can't, then what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go with things? Oh, I need to hire a female mercenary or something to go after my wife or my girlfriend? I mean, I just don't understand when you're talking about basic storytelling elements that you feel that, anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent here. Then she talks about how, so not only is Mario just doing this for maybe cake, although she takes one of the screenshots of Mario getting a kiss on the cheek and acts as if Mario is like, hey, princess, I saved your life. Why don't you give me a little kiss? He didn't. Nothing in that screenshot indicates that he was like, yeah, you're gonna kiss me because I saved your life. No, no. And then she proceeds to say that Peach is a ball that is being passed between Bowser and Mario. It seems to me, Miss Anita, point of fact right now, that the only person who is actually objectifying women in this scenario, or is objectifying Peach, is you. There's no indicators that Mario is actually somehow attracted to or in love with Peach. Uh, there's no indicator necessarily that Bowser is. And if you ask Miyamoto, this is all just sort of a play of sorts. Miyamoto has talked about why the non-canon, considered non-canon games like Mario Basketball and Mario Kart and all that, how Bowser could be included and they all play like they're friends. Because the main story, the main narrative you're going after is sort of a play action scenario there. It's not entirely real by Miyamoto's standpoints. So, in a way, using a trope in a medium where the video game, in a way, is like a movie that you're playing through actually kind of makes sense. Even if I think that's the dumbest way to explain away the non-canon and main canon Mario games and how they interspruce and interconnect. But not being maybe the best of storytellers aside with Miyamoto there, you know, this isn't the only reason why I have a problem with this, but that's one thing I wanted to start out with, or point number two is that you're the one who's turning Peach into an object. You're the one who's objectifying her. Obviously not sexually or evil sexually or however you want to framework it here, but you've degraded her down to an object, and yet you claim that these games are doing only that. And you don't even seem to care about the difference between Mario's conquest and, say, your usual knight in shining armor slaying a dragon so he can get laid. And this is where I think people should start to see where this doesn't work. I really had higher hopes for Miss Sarkeesian. I thought with a bigger budget, more research, she might actually become something that she never was able to achieve with the regular feminist frequency. Sadly, she disappointed me on every level, or didn't disappoint me in the fact that part of me did expect her to make this particular type of video. But I'm not just stopping the train here. Oh no. Part 2 is coming up.